The smell of sizzling onions and fresh tortillas filled the air as Lena wiped her hands on a faded apron. Her food truck, painted with peeling yellow paint, was parked at the corner of a busy street in the city. The morning rush had already begun. Office workers, construction crews, and students lined up for their breakfast burritos and coffee. For Lena, this food truck wasn't just a job, it was her lifeline. After her father's passing, she had inherited both his dream and his debt. Every dollar she made went toward paying off hospital bills and keeping the truck running. Her hands moved quickly, packing tacos with practiced speed, but her heart carried the weight of exhaustion. She barely had time to rest, barely had time to live. Yet every customer left with a smile because Lena believed in serving more than food. She served dignity. She didn't notice the tall man in line, dressed simply in jeans and a dark jacket. To her, he was just another hungry customer, and in Lena's world, everyone was equal. The man in line shifted his weight patiently. He was Ethan Cole, one of the most powerful CEO in the city, a millionaire many times over. But without his tailored suit and luxury car, no one recognized him. People around Lena's truck slowly noticed who he was. A few business people tried to cut in line, hoping to shake his hand or earn his favor. But Lena's sharp voice cut through the chatter. "Excuse me, sir. Please wait your turn. Everyone's hungry and no one gets special treatment here." Gasps spread through the crowd. Didn't she know who she was talking to? But Ethan just smiled faintly. For years, people had bent over backwards to please him. He had forgotten what it felt like to be treated as ordinary. For the first time in a long while, he felt invisible, and strangely, he liked it. When Ethan finally reached the counter, Lena looked up with a tired but genuine smile. "Sorry for the wait. What can I get you?" Her tone was polite but not impressed, her eyes focused on the task, not the man. Ethan studied her for a moment before answering. As Lena handed him a warm burrito and steaming cup of coffee, Ethan leaned slightly closer. His voice was low, almost a whisper. "You just taught me something I haven't felt in years. Humility." Lena blinked, confused. She gave a polite nod, assuming he was just another quirky customer. To her, respect and fairness were normal. They weren't lessons, they were survival. But for Ethan, those few minutes in line had shifted something deep inside him. The next morning, Lena pulled up to her usual spot, expecting another long day of hard work. But as she parked, she froze. A massive crowd had gathered in front of her truck. Cameras, reporters, and curious strangers filled the street. She thought maybe something bad had happened, until she saw him. Ethan Cole, now in a sharp suit, stood at the front, addressing the cameras. "Yesterday, I stood in line at this food truck," he began. "And for the first time in years, no one cared that I was a CEO. No one rushed to serve me first. I was just another customer, and it reminded me that true respect isn't bought with money or status." The crowd listened intently as Ethan turned to Lena, who was standing in shock, her apron still tied around her waist. This young woman treated everyone equally. That's a kind of wealth this world needs more of. The cameras flashed, capturing Lena's wide eyes and trembling hands. She wasn't sure if this was real or just a dream. Over the weeks that followed, Ethan visited Lena's truck often, not to be recognized, but to learn. He watched how she greeted the construction workers with the same warmth she gave to suited executives. He noticed how she slipped a free sandwich to the homeless man who always came by at noon. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the skyline, Ethan made her an offer. "I want to invest in your dream, not to change who you are, but to help the world see what kindness in business looks like." With Ethan's support, Lena's food truck expanded into a small chain, but Lena made one rule. Every location would keep the same spirit as her original truck. Affordable prices, respect for every customer, and meals for those who couldn't pay. She refused to let success strip away the values her father had instilled in her, and Ethan, he often whispered the same words when he visited her new restaurant. "You remind me of what truly matters." The girl who once worried about paying bills now inspired thousands. The millionaire who thought he had everything realized he was missing the one thing Lena had never lost: humility. In the end, their story wasn't about money, food, or fame. It was about respect, the kind that treats a stranger as an equal no matter who they are. Because sometimes the richest gift you can give someone isn't wealth or opportunity, it's dignity, and it has the power to change both lives forever.